jet as well. Then you have myself. I was in the Air Squadron. I was then as an engineer in an aerospace company in Belfast. I then went into Aer Lingus, flew a number of fleets with them. So I have sort of an engineering and I have flying background as well in the airlines. You've Jerry, who's here with us this evening. He instructs on the upset recovery training program, ex-RAF, flew the Harrier, and flies competition and displays as well. So in terms of the instructors that we have, they come from a variation of backgrounds. We all have experience in different areas, and we all make sure that gets through to any of the students that we're training, so that you can look at the various operation, types of careers that you could, because you just don't have to be an airline pilot. You could be an instructor. You could go into private jet. You could go into air taxi, and so on and so on. We have that, and we keep in touch with all the businesses as they go on, and we get feedback from the airlines and make sure that we're doing what we should be doing. We have Captain Philip Smythe, again, he's on our safety manager, again, background in aviation, corporate jet, and again, an IA examiner. So we have a number of examiners on our staff as well. So when you're ready for flight tests and things like that, you're not waiting around. We can actually process you and get you flight tested relatively quickly. And then we have Claire, again, who's with us, our sales and marketing manager. Has background in personnel selection, which is fed through into the whole aptitude in your selection process, as well as helping you develop through the training process and getting you the job at the end of the day, improving your career prospects once you do finish with us. So, after training programs, well, how do you get started? What's the next step? Well, someone's already asked me this evening, do you need a leaving cert or anything like that? Well, to be a pilot, no, you actually don't. You don't have to. But we would always say, finish whatever level of education, at least a leaving cert, and get some foundation to begin with. Okay. Why would we say to do that? Well, because the training that you'll do, 50% of it is flying the aircraft, 50% of it is theory. Because nowadays in a modern cockpit of a commercial airliner, you've probably all had that sneaky peek, have you? As you're coming on, grab a glance as you go in. You'll see there's only 2 people in the cockpit nowadays. There used to be 3. There used to be a captain, a first officer, and an engineer. The engineer is gone. Okay, so who engineers the aircraft? 2 pilots now have to have knowledge of engineering. So you can, from having traveled on these things, I'm sure you're aware of, it's all full of mechanical, hydraulics, electrics, pneumatics, etc., etc., etc. So you have to have, and you will have to study a little bit of foundation to understand how all that works. And in order to do that, well, we won't be teaching it from scratch, so you have to have some sort of foundation in knowledge in those areas. So key would be, a bit of maths, a bit of physics, a science, maybe some engineering background will help. Okay. How we do test you, or how we do figure out whether this is for you or not, is every student that comes into Afta goes through an assessment process, which I'll talk about in a bit more detail in a minute. But why do we do that? Well, it's a level playing field. So anybody comes in, you don't necessarily have to have come from 3rd level education or college or have done your leaving cert. We have a number of people that maybe did apprenticeships in engineering and went on. They always wanted to fly, didn't get the chance, but then decided to change career later on. We have a number of others, solicitors, accountants, you name it, from all other different types of background that may not have the skills that you would think, and they want to have a go at becoming a pilot as well. So what we do is we aptitude test every student that comes in before you join one of the courses. So what is the process that we would say if you are interested in doing this? Well, number one is and we would say to everybody is get a flight in a light airplane. Okay? A light airplane is quite different to flying or being in a large commercial airline. They're a lot smaller, and they travel a lot closer to the ground, and they can be a little bit claustrophobic for some. Some people get a little bit airsick, they bounce around a bit more, that type of thing. So we want to ensure that you're going to be comfortable when you do come to train in one, and that you're happy to do it. You're going to sit in one for 120 hours, and we don't want you distracted with, you'll never get me in one of those things again type. So we would say to you all is before you come near us for an assessment even, is make sure you fly in one. A voucher, 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. Fly over your own house or whatever and get photographs of it, as long as you've experienced it. The next thing is to visit the academy that you're going to train in. So it's an open invitation to you all to come down and visit and see the place, see what we're saying we have and we do. Okay? Talk to the instructors, talk to the students that are there. Do we have the aircraft? Do we have the simulators? Do we have the facility that we say we do? Also, is it the type of place that you feel you could fit in easily? We get feedback from people that do this in other flight schools that it's sort of a them and us type thing. That's not the way we operate at all. Everybody is welcome to come down and have a look and spend a bit of time with us. And we say to you, just get on the phone, talk to myself or Claire or any one of the others, and book a visit, come down and see everything, and we'll tour you around, we'll let you climb in and out of aeroplanes, you'll go into the classroom to see it. If it's possible and available, we might even get you a flight in one of the simulators. Okay?